Welcome to the second RSA webinar on simplifying the reality of a work from home strategy. So we're about to start, and for those of you who are joining for this time, on the left, I just want to highlight a few different elements, specifically the questions, polls, and chats tab. So if you guys have any questions for us, please feel free to post there. We are running 1 or 2 polls throughout the session just to get a bit more information from everyone here. And in our chats tab, obviously, you guys are free to have a conversation with us or everyone else in the session. You're also free to post any other questions you might have for us there. We will be running a Q&A at the end of the session. And under handouts, there is just a full RSA Web product brochure that gives a complete breakdown of everything that we offer at RSA Web. So just for a quick introduction, my name is Stolzen Hirden. I'm the MC for this morning. And we have some really exciting information for you guys from our presenters. Leonor Lotz, who's our head of enterprise, Sean Rose, our cloud product specialist, and JC Stratford, our primary presenter this morning, our lead and in charge of all things related to mobile data, our mobile data specialist. So just to kick it off, we have a small video for you. With the importance of connectivity, we hand it over to Leonor, our head of business, to give us a quick introduction to everything RSA Web. Thank you, Leonor. Over to you.
Morning, everyone. Thank you so much for those who are joining us. We have a very exciting webinar scheduled for today, and I just quickly wanted to give an introduction to those of you who are not familiar with RSA Web. So RSA Web is an owner-operated ISP. We actually refer to ourselves as a technology provider. We're always very excited to host these kind of webinars because it allows those of you who are not familiar with RSA Web just a little bit of a glimpse into our organization, our culture, as well as the people. The people are really important to us. So that's why we like to put some of our staff in front of you and discuss what is happening with RSA Web, what is happening within RSA Web. So I wanted to introduce RSA Web as an organization. We have initially we started as an ISP providing services to other organizations. Later on, about 2 or 3 years ago, we really launched into the fiber to the home sector. Now, the product that we are discussing today is mobile data, and mobile data is something that is very close to us. The reason that we are so passionate about mobile data is because the product is developed in-house. And what that really means to us is we have developed and built a product that is really fit for purpose. It is a product that we take a lot of input from our customers. Our customers give us a lot of ideas and how to update and change and really mold the product. And so this is something that has really kind of formed out of a need that our customers have to have their staff connected, but also the various sort of add-ons and adaptations of the product have really come out of input and demand and requests from our customers. So that's just something that we are really excited about, and we're really happy that those of you who are joining today are interested in this product. And so I'm going to be handing over to JC Stratford, who is our head of mobile data, who's head of the product. And what JC is going to take you through, she's going to take you through the dashboard that we have developed. The reason that this dashboard is so unique is it's something that really allows you to manage your staff, manage their usage, and really allows you that sort of granular reporting that is important for businesses these days. So besides that this is obviously a very important product to us, our customers' input is really important to us. So if you have any questions or any sort of tips on how we can kind of adapt this product and how it is kind of almost a fit for your organization, and you need some additional sort of add-ons or questions about the product, please do let us know towards the end of the session, as we're always interested to see how we can update and change the products for your needs. All right, thank you, Scholz.
Pleasure, Leonor. Let me just kick off the slideshow. And over to you, JC.
Nice. Morning, guys. I'm just going to get that video camera on. There I am. Okay, so thanks very much, Leonor and Scholz, for the nice introduction, and Leonor giving us a great review of who we are and where we've come from. So working from home has now really become the norm for many organizations. It really is here to stay. You know, at RSA Web, you know, we discovered that, and we deployed a mobile solution relatively quickly. At RSA Web, our mobile data solution really is a bundle of data per network that's aggregated across multiple SIM cards. We have a dashboard, as Leonor discussed with you, that enables you to centrally manage your mobile data, your SIM cards. It allows you to assign SIM cards to, allows you to assign SIM cards to users, and then again, assign users into the relevant groups. We've adopted a dual network strategy. We have a multi-vendor offering that extensively covers, with extensive coverage across 3G and LTE networks. I'm going to talk a little bit about why that was important for us when we needed to get our staff online quickly. It was like working from the office on Thursday, and then on Friday morning, waking up, making a cup of coffee, firing up your Wi-Fi device, opening up your laptop, and off you go. The huge upside, of course, was no traffic for those of us that live far away from the office. I think our office is in Sea Point. I haven't seen it pretty much for 4 months, but I think it's still there. I'm going to talk a little bit about control. What does that mean? So when I take you through what we did and the power that we gave to our department heads to manage this, things like time and attendance, allocation of parking, laptops, cell phones, those are things that are done on a normal daily basis. But adding the responsibility of mobile and mobile usage and mobile data, really, I think we did a really good job to ensure that that was a seamless addition to responsibilities. Sorry, there we go. Yeah, on this dashboard, I would call it a dashboard, but I suppose it is a slide. You can see the overview of what our dashboard looks like. This is a snapshot of how many accounts you have. Let's just go. There we go. So if you look at the green little block over there, you can see how many accounts you have, what's active, what's capped. On teal blue one, you can see how many SIMs you have. And this is a really cool functionality because you can see per network, you can see what's assigned and what's active. On the red block, you can see your data, pretty much each bundle per network, and the usage, you know, what you've used. On the bar graph over here, you have a view of your daily aggregated usage per network, which is a really cool and functional visibility. In the blocks over here, you can see your top accounts. I'm used to seeing names there, so you can see who's used what and how much of what they've used. And then the block next to it, you can see your accounts that have been capped, which is also a great great thing to have visibility into. Excuse me. So I guess the question is, how did we do that? How did we do it? How did we get our staff online? Well, some of our staff already had mobile data. So of course, we're a tech company, and being always connected is, of course, a high priority to us and our teams. Where staff didn't have SIMs and Wi-Fi devices, we were able to deploy them relatively quickly. So this is one of the things that we do, and we do it really well. We are able to activate and deliver SIMs and devices within days. And this is really testimony to the wholesale relationship we have with our mobile operators. We've developed that over several years, I think 7 or 8 to be precise. And it really is a great working relationship. But we were faced with a couple of new problems and new considerations. So one of the things that we had to consider was coverage. We do have staff working in remote areas, farms in Paarl, out in Somerset West, and we really had to take coverage into consideration. And I really believe that this is going to be a huge consideration for companies that are rolling out work from home strategies. Of course, because we have a multi-vendor strategy approach, we use both MTN and Vodacom networks. It really is as easy as activating SIMs on the network with the coverage. Or in some instances, we send both network SIMs to one particular staff member. Great. So I guess, I guess I'm going to take you through how this looks like on the back end. So what it looks like on the dashboard. And I'm going to figure out how to manage moving my slides and talking same time. So the SIM cards are allocated onto the platform. They're uploaded onto the dashboard. And once those were uploaded, our business unit heads were assigned access to the platform, where they were able to create accounts, assign SIMs to accounts, and assign those accounts into groups that they had created or we'd already created for them. Obviously, in this scenario, we had already created groups. Obviously, we've been doing this for close on 5 years, so it was there already. Okay, that's an overview of what a group dashboard, what the group dashboard looks like. So here you can see a snapshot, of what a group overview looks like. So this is a really important structure because in the work from home scenario, I believe it puts pressure on businesses to ensure that the correct cost centers are accountable and can manage their data allocation and usage accordingly. So no fussy emails to top up data, no fussy conversations with the IT team to ensure that you are validating large overage bills. It really places the accountability and manageability into the manager's hands. And I think because we have a multi-administrator functionality on the portal, we can assign access to the correct people. And I'm going to go back to that slide. There we go. And this is an overview of what the access control functionality looks like. So here you can assign administrators control to either over the entire APN or for a specific group or an account. So in this instance, the heads of departments were given access to the group function where they were able to allocate data caps, and manage SIMs. Go back to that. Okay. We also have a usage functionality feature, which is really important. So this can be set for users to receive usage notifications at 50, 75, or 100% of usage. This enables them to keep track of their usage, which is really important. But of course, they also have visibility of their usage on the platform. This of course is if you've assigned the correct access to the user in the account capacity. We also went one further and we set up so that managers could receive the same notifications. So in the scenario where a user or an account had blown through their allocation really quickly, the administrators were able to very quickly top up or increase the cap of the specific account. So in essence, what that meant for us is that there were no scenarios where staff were left doing nothing because there was no internet connectivity. So which is pretty cool. Our business heads were also able to pull reports on a daily basis. So I'm I can take you to that slide. So if you have a look on this dashboard, you'll see from a group perspective, the heads of departments had access into usage, into across MTN or Vodacom's network, the SIMs that are in the specific group account, the amount of accounts that are in the groups. And this is important to note, because if you look at the slide, you'll see that Vodacom's got 1 account and MTN has got 21 accounts, but in total there are 26 accounts in this entire group. So some groups could have 2 or 3 different types of SIM cards. So one particular person has a Vodacom and an MTN SIM card, which I alluded to earlier. You can also see which accounts are capped. So this is a quick overview and at a quick glance. Again, you can see usage over MTN or Vodacom's network, and that's on the bar graph over there. And then, of course, you can see you can pull reports. So if you have a look at the teal block that's covered in a circle, this is where you're able to pull reports. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a view of what that looks like. There we go. So there we go. It will literally pull up a report where you have visibility into who's used what and when. You can also export that to Excel, which is also a very cool function. So it enables you to really manage your cost center effectively. I guess so, in a nutshell, managing SIMs is labor intensive, it's costly and it's complex. And I really believe that we simplify and reduce that functionality to one dashboard. We give you control and autonomy to manage your staff and your data spend. Our solution, again, is a bundled postpaid aggregated service. It enables you to centrally manage multiple networks, multiple SIM cards, multiple groups, users, and reporting. We can handle multiple complex solutions, multiple APNs, manage firewalls. We can deliver your services directly into your DMZ environment. And Sean is actually on this webinar, and he can answer any questions you have around end-to-end encryption, any technical questions. He's really our guru around that. Again, our portal is granular with multiple profiles. It's ideal for resellers. It's also ideal for businesses with multiple cost centers and multiple departments. We're able to do, you're able to order your SIM cards and your SIM swaps that you're able to do through your My RSA Web portal. We are able to give you the reports that you need. And it's for me, trying to get the message that it really is real-time control through our My RSA Web dashboard. So, you know, I guess that's who we are and how we did it, and how we would like to do it for you and your staff. You know, we have an amazing account management team. They can guide you through our onboarding process and exactly what you need and how we can do what we did for ourselves for you and your team. I think we will be happy to field some questions. So we have a panel that will respond. Scholz.
Thanks, JC. Yeah, we've got a few people posting in the questions tab and in the chat. One from Chris, who asks, who are some of the industry sectors we service, and why did they choose RSA Web? Sean, JC, who would like to pick up on that question?
Over to Sean.
Morning, everyone. Excuse me, trussed up like an Eskimo. I woke up to snow on the mountains this morning, so it's rather fresh and crispy where I live. So we have, over the years, serviced many diverse industry sectors, but the use case mostly seems to be the same. It's around spend management. It's around flexibility and the ability to maximize your spend, and it's about creating some efficiencies in terms of man hours. As JC mentioned, you know, historically, companies would take out corporate contracts with mobile providers, and one of the challenges with that, particularly if you have a large user base, is that those corporate contracts all have very different renewal dates. They all have very different, or often have very different package options, and they're not very efficient to manage. So being able to utilize a platform like this and to manage your spend through a dashboard that gives you granular visibility over your user base and their usage, and the ability to get maximum value for money out of the data bundles that you purchase, certainly takes away a lot of that administrative time that goes into trying to manage individual contracts. So we have a very diverse customer base, spanning the events industry right through to construction, and any company that has a mobile workforce, a sales team, a team of consultants, field engineers. Those are all viable use cases for this product offering. And yeah, as I said, the two main benefits is productivity, enabling remote workers to be connected to the internet and to corporate services, but also very much in terms of administration and spend management. There's a couple of other questions.
There's a lot of questions.
If people on the network are using their own personal devices, like mobile phones or laptops, what's the impact on the security of the network? So that's a very good question, and it's one that comes up often. In the rollout of this product offering to our customers, there are essentially two options in terms of uptake. One is a shared APN provided by RSA Web. It's essentially pure internet access. The functionality that's been shown in terms of the dashboard and its feature set remains available in the context of a shared APN. However, customers who require more security and the management of end user connections into the corporate network often deploy a private APN. That enables them to leverage the functionality of a firewall and the ability to create end-to-end control from the end user right the way into the corporate network. So, taking RSA Web as an example, a lot of our business systems are accessible via web services. And so whilst there is a requirement for those web services which we host internally on our network to be protected by perimeter security solutions, the SaaS services which we consume are effectively available via the web. But if any customers or users within corporate networks are requiring remote access to servers or applications hosted on servers inside that corporate network, then the private APN is a solution to that problem, and it certainly takes care of a number of those security risks. I'm happy to field any more questions that are maybe specific to your organization around private APN corporate network security. But let me have a look at some of these other questions. Where are notifications sent to? User email address or SIM number? So as JC mentioned, the administrative functionality within this dashboard allows for permissions-based user accounts to be created. So depending on how you want to manage your environment, potentially usage notifications per user can be sent to the email address of that particular user account or the holder of that user account, or alternatively to the administrator of the portal. So by default, we do email address notifications. I hope that answers the question. At what intervals can notifications be sent? Well, I think that is determined by the thresholds that you want to set as alerts. So typically, you'd receive a 70% or a 90% usage notification by email. And that's intended to ensure that you stay online. So you have the opportunity to then either top up your specific user account from the data pool allocated to the organization, or the administrator of the platform would then top up the organization's overall data allocation if that's the nature of the alert. Bevan's asking about end-to-end encryption. There isn't device-level encryption that is delivered as part of the solution. The security functionality of the service, particularly in the context of private APN, is really to do with the ability to create static routes between the private APN firewall and the corporate network. So we're able to run, we're able to implement NAT rules between those firewalls, or certainly just apply user-based policies and controls, whitelists, blacklists, etc., to the various to the firewall of the private APN. Again, in terms of security, the attack surface from a web perspective is vast, and there are so many different threat vectors that come into a network from, or attempt to come into a network from the internet. So typically we would spend some time consulting with our customers, understanding the use case, understanding the systems and the applications that they have in operation within their corporate network. And then we would, in conjunction with their IT teams, if they have, we would consult around the security spec that's required and the rules and policies that need to be implemented on those firewalls. Okay. So a couple of additional questions. Can this be used as an effective way to send and receive data from IoT devices? So I think the IoT conversation is a hot topic. In the context of IoT, depending on how you look at it from a network perspective and from a data transmission perspective, there's various network protocols that can be applied. If not on the mobile data platform, there are other network protocols. There's LoRaWAN, there's Sigfox. There's a number of different ways in which data can be transmitted. If we are talking about an IoT device in the context of mobile data, then yes, it is an effective way to send and receive data. Typically, those devices, unless they are cameras streaming videos or streaming live video feeds, typically those IoT devices send more telemetry type data, and so the data usage per device is not massive, certainly not as much as in the context of an end user navigating the internet and downloading content. So certainly it is a viable solution for IoT devices. Again, I think a lot of this comes down to use case and the kind of application environment that you're wanting to use the solution in. I think this is a good question for JC, and maybe you want to jump back on. Detailed usage reporting per user or SIM, not just how much data is used, but what data is used for. I think that's probably a two-part question and answer. So maybe JC, if you want to talk about the usage reporting, and then I'll talk about the security element.
So yes, we can give you report per user per SIM. So that's the holistic report that's pulled at the end of the month, and you can pretty much export it into your own Excel spreadsheet. Sean will talk a little bit more about what we can do from a firewall perspective, which is really what we have a FortiGate analyzer. Can you hear me? There we go. Sean, guys?
Yeah, we can hear
Yes.
you.
So
Great.
as
Sorry,
JC was
apologies.
saying, no. So as JC was saying, we RSA Web partners with Fortinet, and in that partnership, we utilize the FortiGate product suite as the preferred firewalling solution. We utilize that product suite for a couple of reasons. From an operational perspective, it's very conducive as a product offering for us to manage from a service provider perspective, but certainly from a customer perspective, I think FortiGate or Fortinet as a product offering is certainly globally recognized as a very versatile and enterprise quality product. And so within that product suite, not only does the FortiGate firewall provide the UTM functionality, the unified threat management functionality, but there are a number of add-on services to that to provide additional insights into activity and data utilization. So as JC said, the Forti Analyzer is one of the additional services we would add to that product stack, and that would provide very granular reporting around user activity and data consumption. So I hope that answers the question, Rian. I see that there are some comments in the chats. Scholz, I don't know if you want to just assist me with responding to some of these. So can you provide pricing range for small business, 2 to 3 people at home?
Let's see, Ryan's up.
I can assist. Right, yeah. So as JC mentioned, our very capable account managers are always willing and able to engage. So I think, Trevor, I'm going to leave you in Ryan's capable hands to have that commercial conversation. I'm just going to pop back to the questions quickly. Trevor's saying great. I hope that there aren't any new questions coming through. I hope that I've addressed adequately these questions. Please feel free to ask anything in addition to what's been said.
I think that's 30 minutes, and I think it's been a productive session. I think we should wrap up there.
Yeah, I think just, from my side, just to leave you with a thought, and that is to say that, the use cases per industry sector, per organization, per user are there are many similarities between the requirements that exist, but at an individual or organizational level, there's often a number of bespoke or custom requirements that we are willing to discuss, and often open forum like this is not the simplest or the best way to have those engagements. So as a standard, our account managers, JC and myself, will engage with customers and consult around needs and requirements and use cases. And in doing so, we're very, very willing and able to provide you with product demonstrations and to take you through the dashboard on a one-on-one basis, and to highlight and to address any specific needs that you might have. So I'd like to encourage you, if this has been useful, if you've gained any insights, or you've picked up on any nuggets of information that you think are relevant to your organization, please feel free to reach out to us. We are very willing to have more detailed one-on-one type discussions. And I think that's it from me. So I'm going to hand back to Scholz.
Thank you, Sean. Again, thank you everyone for attending today. The session will be available, the full video will be available after this. And from our RSA website, just like to thank everyone for attending this morning. And we look forward to many more webinars that we'll be hosting. Over the next couple of weeks, we will be sending out a few more notifications on different webinars that we have coming up. So keep an eye out. Thank you, everyone, and have a lovely Friday.